Good morning, people. I don't know how many times I've read this now. This time I'm going to read through it. I'm starting back with the story. And as I'm reading it, parts of it weren't making sense to me. But now it is. I'm still at home. I'm finally going to get my blood work done. Hopefully. Unless that place isn't there anymore. Like the last place I used to go to, which is now an eye center. It has been horribly humid here. Monday was disgusting. Hubby I think said it was 32 or 30, 32 Celsius. You'll have to do the conversion, but it felt a lot hotter than that. Totally soaked t-shirt by the time I got home. We walked from the mall. Yesterday it was raining, so the afternoon or the travel home wasn't too bad. Just got my socks wet because of the rain, the way it comes down between the mall and the other block when you're crossing the street. It's like a little river. But that's okay. I'd rather have my feet wet from rain than the rest of me soaking from sweating. So it's cool this morning. It doesn't look like it's going to get up too high, maybe 22 Celsius. I don't know what the humidity's going to be like. Chance of thunderstorm this afternoon. That's what they've been saying like every day lately. But anyways, let's get to the story. We're now 2 minutes in. Things began to calm down. The divorce was final. As the days passed, Nicole had opened up more. Brad wasn't the man they all thought he was. In a couple of weeks' time, her father came to surprise her with a visit. "I'm so sorry you had to go through this. He had us all fooled." "Thanks for coming, Dad. Abigail will be happy to see you." He looked around the property as they made their way to the water. "It feels good to be back. I miss the smells of the bay. Why don't you move back?" Nicole suggested. "No, a visit is good. The warm weather is better for me. I don't do winters anymore. Even spring is too damp up here." "Well, I'm pleased you're here now. Abigail's redecorated. She painted the rooms. It's more her place now. They went off and got married." "Yeah, I read that online. She's singing now too, I understand." "Nicole, I didn't come here to discuss your cousin. I'm here for you." "What happened?" Nicole relayed in detail to her father what had happened. "And now I'm here. I really love it. It's great being with family, and James said he'd be visiting soon." Rob put his arm around his daughter. "I'm here for 2 weeks, he informed her. Abigail was happy to see her uncle, though it brought back memories of her father. "It definitely looks like you. I'm glad you came back to the bay." "So am I. Scott should be home soon. He went to get a few things at the grocery store." She had no sooner said that when he walked through the door. Excuse me. "Hey, Rob. I wondered who the rental belonged to. How long are you here for?" 2 weeks. Good to see you." The men hugged. "Married life treating you well?" "Excellent. No complaints." "How's Florida?" "Sunny and warm all year round. Don't need more than a jacket in the winter. Not like the bulky stuff here. And no winter boots. The snow looks beautiful in pictures." They laughed. "You staying for supper? I can throw some burgers on the..." "Pearl." Okay, we're going. That was Miss Pearl. Okay, the family was together like the old times. Rob sat back and watched the girls did his heart good to see them like they were back in the day. Scott joined him on the veranda. Like teenagers, he commented, smiling. I'm just glad things got back to normal with them. Sage and I didn't help much. True, but now things are as they should be. Thank you for coming back into Abigail's life. Nick would have been pleased. I'm just grateful she allowed me back in. Things are better now. We've had long conversations. It takes time and understanding to make it work. As the evening wore down, the family found themselves around the new fire pit. They all turned their heads as a car came up the driveway, its bright headlights momentarily blinding them. They wondered who it was. The door opened and Sage climbed out. Was he invited? Scott asked. No, Abigail replied. Sorry to intrude. I was just coming by to see how Nicole is. Join us. Nicole motioned him to sit beside her. I'm doing fine. Thanks for thinking about me. Scott couldn't resist. You're not going back to LA? Maybe to visit, but not live. It will likely be winter next time I go. As the flames died, the family made it clear it was time to leave. Hope we can hang out again, Sage said, opening his car door. Up in their bedroom, Scott sat on the bed while Abigail changed. What do you think? I think she may move too fast. She's only just left him. You think he'll push? I hope not. He'll have me to answer to. Abigail remembered her words to her cousin and realized she should do the same. Sage gave Nicole plenty of time to adjust to her new life. The midday sun beat down on the washed-out dock. The boards had grayed over the years. With her father back in Florida, Nicole spread a large towel on the dock to lay on. With her head covered, she soaked in the sun. She felt her body relax as the heat warmed her. She was asleep when the first drop of rain woke her. Nicole grabbed up the towel and walked back to the apartment in the rain. Sage! She found him walking away from her door. Come on up. They climbed the stairs. I'm going to take a quick shower and I'll be back. Help yourself to something to drink. He opened the fridge and pulled out a fizzy water. He looked over to the cabin before sitting down. Nicole came out in shorts and a tank top. I feel better now. She grabbed a water as well. What's up? Just thought I'd drop by. How are things with you? Getting used to your new life? To tell the truth, it's not as difficult as I expected. I'm enjoying not having to check with someone about anything. I hear you on that. It's great. He realized he'd gone a comment too far. Yeah, but I can see where I'll get tired of this. You might. What a stupid thing to say. Maybe he shouldn't have come. What were your plans today? She asked. I didn't have any. You? Just being lazy. Dad left yesterday. You enjoyed the visit, I'm sure. Did he convince you to move south? No, but I'll plan to visit in a few months. Uncomfortable silence. Did you feel like doing something? It would have to be inside. It's raining. How about just hanging out and watching a movie here? Sounded good to him. The evening went well. Sage was the perfect gentleman. He thanked Nicole for a great night and expressed hopes it would happen again. Sure. It was just relaxing. I didn't feel any pressure. I'll call you or you call me. He wrote his number on the chalkboard by the door. Abigail went over to see how Nicole was. When she closed the door, she seen the number. Sage was here? Yes, he came over last night. We watched a movie and talked. You're going to see him again? Isn't it a little too soon? Are you jealous? Nicole asked. No. Then why do I get the feeling you are? Abby, you can't have them both. Nicole was upset. I have Scott. I don't want anyone else. I just hope he's not using you. What, to get to you? You think a lot of yourself, don't you? A former husband of yours can't be interested in me? That's rich. The cousin stood in silence. Abigail was unsure of what to do. She waited for Nicole. I don't feel comfortable with you right now. I think you should leave. What you said was very hurtful. I didn't say anything. Abigail defended herself. You said it without saying it. Nicole stood waiting for her to leave. I'll leave, but I'm sorry you feel I implied something. With that, she left. Sage had done it yet again. Was this all a part of the plan? Thought you were going to Nicole's, Scott said when Abby came through the door. Sage was there last night. Was he still there? No, he left his number on the chalkboard. He could hear the anger in her voice. Abigail, remember, you didn't appreciate them meddling in your life. He reminded her. I know. I think what bothered me the most is she thought I was jealous. The old Scott would have asked if she was, but the new Scott didn't. That's crazy. Why would you be? We're together. You don't need anyone else. That's right. She hugged him. A few days later, Sage called Nicole. Feel like having dinner Friday night? Sure. Sage asked what was wrong. Abby thinks you're seeing me to get to her. Why would I? Can I be interested in you? Maybe I was with her. Hang on. Maybe I was with her, waiting for you to leave Brad. Stuff what she says. Let's go to dinner tonight and Friday. Nicole was tempted. Let's leave it for Friday. Abigail had her second guessing everything. There's nothing wrong with me. Sage is interested in me for no other reason. I like him. He's attractive and good conversation. He's funny and passionate about his work. And he's damn attractive, she said to herself. Nicole met Sage at the bistro. She wanted none of Dan's comments. She wore a pretty flowered print dress in blue. He had a table waiting for her. They had a great meal, but skipped dessert. The conversation was pleasant. Sage talked about his work and his love of California. Nicole talked about her new venture as a florist. About 9, they paid and left, each going their own way. Arriving home, Nicole thought she should invite him back. Mel was enjoying his dates with Justin. They were getting along beautifully. Mel was ready to bring this relationship to the next move. The guys met at Dan's for a relaxing dinner. They ordered and sat back in their booth. Hang on. Oh. Mel thought it over many different ways to ask him to move in. It was in his nature to be shy in a situation like this. The night progressed, and Mel realized It was now or never. "Justin," he began. "Yeah?" he replied. "I have a question to ask you." He was building his courage. "What is it?" Justin leaned closer so he could hear. "I've been wondering, but it's up to you, of course, if you'd..." He took a breath, then blurted it out. "Like to move in." Justin was pleasantly surprised. "To your place?" "Yes." It was a relief to get that out. "Well, I'm not sure. This is spur of the moment. No, I've been thinking about it for a while now. As I said, totally up to you." Mel was nervous. The longer Justin took to reply, the more his heart sank. "I have to be truthful. I'm not ready for that step. For me, it's much too soon. Let's give it a year. No need to rush things." Mel was hurt. He had been sure he'd jump at the invitation. Suddenly, he wasn't enjoying the evening. Mel put his hand to his forehead. He was going to use the old headache routine, then thought better of it. "If you don't mind, I'd like to call it a night. I'm not in the mood anymore." "I'm sorry, Mel. I realized you wanted a different answer, but I need to be comfortable in my decision." "I understand. I'd be the same way. It's taken the wind out of my sails, so to speak." "Oh, excuse me." Mel got up from the table. "I'll see you at work on Monday." He dropped his half of the check and left. Justin hadn't expected such a reaction to his response. Now he thought of this relationship, if this relationship was for him. Would he always react like this when the answer wasn't what he wanted? He paid for the evening and left. He wasn't sure he wanted to face him Monday. Mel stayed in the entire weekend. He expected Justin to call, but he didn't. The more he thought, he wondered about seeing him Monday. But what use would it be to prolong it? He'd be embarrassed no matter what, no matter when he seen him again. Abigail had files to take into the office. "Hey, Julie, where are the guys?" "Don't know. They should have been here by now. Neither have called." "Well, here." Before she could place the files on the desk, Mel walked by. "Mel!" Abigail shouted. He turned round. "Abigail, good to see you," and continued walking. "I'll give these to him and hold all calls for right now." Abigail closed the office door behind her. "Okay, what's up? I know there's something, so don't tell me otherwise." She sat at her old desk. "I asked Justin to move in, and he said no. He said it's too soon and to wait a year. So what's wrong with that? I expected him to say yes. I don't know why he wouldn't. I thought we were getting along great. But he said he wanted to wait. There is no reason to be upset," Abby told him. "I was. I put money for my dinner on the table and left." Mel looked over to her. "I'd be surprised if he showed up today. You both must be embarrassed. I suggest you back off. Call, see if he's okay. Maybe working from home would be better. I'll come in until he's fine. Until he's fine to come back." "Maybe you're right." He put a call into Justin and got his answering machine. "Justin, when you get this, can you call me?" Moments later, the phone rang. "Hi, are you coming in today?" "All right. I figured you could work from home until you were comfortable enough to come in." Abigail only heard one side of the conversation. "You don't have to." Hell, I can work from home, and you come in. Do you want to think about it? All right. This hurts, but it's your decision, okay? Bye. Mel was visibly upset. He began to cry. Abigail knew what had happened. Mel, I'm sorry. He shouldn't have reacted like that. He's being silly. No, he's not. I shouldn't have pushed. When I was thinking so long whether to ask what, I should have known what the answer would be. I should have known not to ask. Don't count him out. You've been together for 3 months now. Just take a break, Abby advised. When Sally and I were together, we moved in after 2 months. That was totally different relationship. Don't compare. You did, he shouted back. Yeah, that was because I had a choice to make. The friends stared at one another. He'll call, don't worry. Maybe I should stick with women. Mel, whatever makes you happy, do it. There is nothing saying you have to stay with either. Date both. Maybe Justin isn't sure who he wants. You both need to talk. Sort this out. Abigail was right. Mel hugged her and thanked her. Nicole made another date with Sage. They were going to play pool. They met up at Dan's. Let's grab a bite before we play, Sage suggested. They sat at a booth by the pool tables. Scott and Abigail were due to sing at 8 p.m. The couple came in the back, relaxing in the small dressing room. Out front, Nicole and Sage had finished dinner and were playing pool. The cousins hadn't spoken since that day in the apartment. Mel decided to get out of the house and make it in time for the gig. The only one missing was Justin. He sat at home considering not only their relationship, but his job as well. When the time came, the lights were dimmed. Dan took the stage. Due to popular demand, it is my pleasure, as always, to welcome Scott and Abigail Wilson to the stage. We'll leave it there. I will try and get back and continue. I got so into writing more of the story that I just let this part lapse. So what do you think's going to happen? Is the jealousy going to continue? Is Sage going to do something that makes what Abigail was thinking actually true? That he's not there for Nicole? Who knows? What's going to happen with Mel? Is Justin going to surprise him by walking in? Don't know. We'll have to wait, and you'll have to wait. I think I remember where I wrote. Anyways, as you can see, whoa, let's back you back. The sun is now coming up. Cloudy, cloudy, cloudy. But still. Whoa, sorry about that. This is our sunset channel. I've used this one before. I was going to use the fireplace channel, and I thought no. So, anyhow. Thank you to my subscribers who come that are interested in the story. I was going to start with the Halloween crafting, but it's just too hot still in the spot where I do that. As soon as it cools down or is tolerable with my little fan, I will get to that. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos. There may be something else, if this isn't your thing, that you can hook an interest into. And if there is, thumbs up, drop me comments, Share it out with someone else if you think they'd be interested. That's appreciated. While you're here, consider becoming a subscriber. I will be getting back, as I said, to my crafting. And click the notification bell so you know when I upload, which has been sparse lately, I realize. But sometimes stuff happens. You get engrossed in other things. What can I say? Anyways, this is now 25 minutes. So thank you for coming by, and until next time, ciao for now.